Hello and welcome to this organizational profile of the Ministry of Education in Barbados, specifically looking at the implementation of an educational management information system. Hi, my name is WK7Assgnhindsa. Now, the history of the organization is that the Ministry of Education directs, monitors, and supports educational agencies across the island of Barbados. This includes private and public schools from nursery up to the secondary level. Over the years, the ministry has spent over $145 million to improve school facilities, to provide technical training to both teachers and members of the Ministry of Education, to implement curriculum reform, and to deploy and integrate information and communication technologies across all schools. Currently, there are many projects which are funded by UNESCO, and one of our requirements is that we send UNESCO our national statistics, which is the aggregate and, of course, data and indicators of our students, scores, attendance, and so on. Historically, the Ministry of Education has implemented several technological innovations, but they have mostly been categorized as failures. The organizational structure. The ministry is headed politically by the Minister of Education. At the administrative level, it is headed by a permanent secretary, and at the technical level, by the Chief Education Officer. These officers are assisted by a Deputy Permanent Secretary and 2 Deputy Chief Education Officers. And finally, there are several specialized departments, all under their purview. Alton calls this a functional organization, where we specialize in our unique skill sets. The culture. We have a very formal culture, firmly rooted in following the chain of command. We're very entrenched in a paper-based administration and file-keeping system, which has penetrated throughout the years. The ministry endorses that quality education should be available to all, and historically speaking, the Ministry of Education has supported that goal from the time of independence, where education is actually free from nursery up to tertiary level. We boast an island-wide literacy rate of 99%, and we encourage that all teachers should be trained or certified to step into the classroom. And we seek to continuously provide training to enhance pedagogical skills for all of our teachers. And finally, continuous innovation has been one of the cornerstones of the Ministry of Education to strengthen capacity to effectively manage the education system. Now we look at the change process. McAllister says that it's influenced by pressures on leaders to improve quality, be more global, better utilize capital, maximize resources, improve shareholder wealth, and create new products and services. Now, the Ministry of Education's reason for the change was that over the years we've had both poor data collection methods, which has prevented us from accurately reporting our statistics to UNESCO. There is no standardization across the board. Most of the data that is stored on the educational system is actually housed on local machines at schools, and it is required that schools actually send the data to the Ministry of Education. And this process has created delays and is somewhat inefficient. One of the main reasons for the change, as Cotter says, is a matter of urgency due to a critical system failure of the most recent Educational Management Information System package. So, the planning. The Information Technology and Quality Assurance Unit was assigned to the project. I am part of that unit as a school liaison officer. We decided to have a coalition of IT coordinators and principals to sensitize them about the reason we're having this change process. And they were involved in the research of current educational management information system platforms. Over time, we had demonstrations by various software companies to the coalition, and the feedback was taken from each of those groups to assist us in making an appropriate decision. The pilot by OpenEMIS seemed to be the most successful, and the OpenEMIS was the most cost-effective. So the next step was to conduct a pilot of the OpenEMIS system. Implementation. The coalition, after the pilot, found that OpenEMIS was quite adequate for the Barbadian context. Recommendations were made from the ITQAU up to upper management, and after deliberations with upper management, sign-off was given to implement the OpenEMIS system across all schools. The train-the-trainer model was adopted to reduce the costs and distribute the work of training all the teachers on the island. A press release was circulated, and the country as a whole was informed that OpenEMIS was going to be the standardized platform for monitoring student performance and movement across the educational system in Barbados. The train-the-trainer model came at a time during the summer vacation. In step 1, IT coordinators were asked to sign up for training sessions. There were several training sessions that were conducted throughout the summer. In step 2, professional consultants representing OpenEMIS came to Barbados to train the coordinators. In step 3, coordinators were instructed to take the knowledge they gained and train their staff. Resistance to change. There was individual resistance throughout this change process. Some IT coordinators did not sign up for the training, as their reasons were it was too soon, or it was during the summer vacation and they did not want to invest their time during the summer. There was an overall low morale because of low expectations, because the Ministry of Education had previously implemented several software packages for management of information on students, and they had all, in their opinion, failed. Many of the IT coordinators wanted more information and asked many questions about the software. Some of the ITCs stated that it was impractical and more work for them to train the teachers. They also indicated that because the training was done during the summer, by the time school had resumed and they had to train other teachers, they would not have the capacity to fully train them at the level that they had been trained. There was even further resistance where some ITCs at schools, especially those that did not come to training, developed their own version of a student management system to work at the school level instead of adopting OpenEMIS. Sustaining the change. The ITQAU created a community using social media groups for ITCs to share information and experiences. There were scheduled termly ITC meetings to share techniques and methods to encourage their staff and to help them during the training process. It was also noted that the application would have frequent updates and would also require retraining and retooling, and users should not get bored or frustrated using the same thing, that their request to have improvements to the system would be listened to and over time implemented. School liaison officers such as myself were available from the ITQAU to support with hands-on support, technical support, and over-the-phone support for ITCs as well as staff members at the schools. What I think was well done. The creation of a coalition for beta testing was one of the key aspects of, in a short space of time, creating that small group of key persons to help us make the decision to go with OpenEMIS. The creation of a social platform for ITCs to share information also helped in allowing them to use their own initiative to promote the change and share in experiences and create their own experiences without the direction of the Ministry of Education. There were also resources that were provided after the training session, and the consultants went back overseas to assist the ITCs in their training sessions so that if they needed refreshers, they could refer to those resources. The ITCs were also encouraged to create their own resources at the school level to help with the training process. Establishing a team within the ministry to work on the project of the ITQAU was also very beneficial to make sure that there was a dedicated set of individuals to ensure the project's success. What could have been improved? The involvement of teaching staff, parents, and other stakeholders would have been a beneficial set of information to help with the decision making and possibly some of the buy-in. Allocation of more resource persons at the ministry to work with the high volume of school needs would have been beneficial as well, since the group of persons at the ITQAU was only 4 and the number of schools ranged for over 120. The vision of the Ministry of Education could have been better articulated so that the stakeholders could get involved in the buy-in. So change leaders could have gone into the schools and done an actual presentation where they are demonstrating the vision of the Ministry of Education. Reflections. The move to OpenEMIS has not yet been institutionalized. There is still some resistance noted amongst some schools. It would be great if there was some encouragement throughout the system by providing rewards for staff who utilize the system to its full capacity. Consistent monitoring of this process is actually quite integral in order to ensure its success. This system is actually rolled out across the entire island at the same time. So it is very important that for its success, everyone has to play their role because they are interdependent. Dr. Bly says one must understand the effect of changing one thing, which may permeate through the entire system to affect other things. The Ministry of Education needs to articulate what the expected goal is. I think that if the vision of the ministry is shared and articulated well, this project can be a success. The change, I think, was well timed, and the crash of the previous system was a good impetus to push the urgency of getting a new system instead of continuously using the old one at the detriment of the Ministry of Education. This time around, I think that the implementation process of an EMIS system was actually improved over previous times that educational systems were attempted. Thank you for watching. These are the references. Take care.